and welcome in and getting help from Uncle Sam. You know, we've been talking on many of our shows about when you look for a food product, look to see what the ingredients are. It's very important for your health, but more importantly, you need to know what some people are trying to put into the products you're eating. My guest, Senator Jack Williams, from down around the Mobile area.
Yes, sir.
And we're glad to have you up here in the Senate.
Well, thank you for having me today.
Is this your first term now?
No, sir. I'm
Second.
in my third term.
Third term. My gosh,
Yes,
time flies when you're having a good time.
Yeah, it does.
It does. And what we were talking about, we've heard the term mystery meat sometimes, and people want to know, well, what's really in that? And you brought together a bill that's very important to the state. Give us the background on that.
Well, the bill is SB 23.
Okay.
I called it's lab-grown meats. I called it Frankenstein meats in all my speeches I've done on it.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from, they pull the cells out of cows or chicken or whatever, and they put it in like a beer vat, stir it up with 20 other chemicals, and it makes a big thing of meat. They'll take it out then on steak and put it in a Peachtree dish is what they called it, and it makes like a round ribeye. It looks like it anyway. How I came up with the bill, I was watching 60 Minutes one night and seen California was doing chicken this way. And I said, man, we do not want that to come to the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm. So
that's when I came up with the idea, because people had asked me, who brought you the bill, who done this? Nobody ever brought me the bill. Cattlemen didn't, anybody didn't. It was all my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Cattlemen got behind it, and the whole state of Alabama actually got behind it. But like I said, they make it out of chemicals. We don't know the research that's been done on it. We don't know what it's going to do to our kids or pass down generation after generation, because it's no real thing in it. It's not even protein in it, very little protein. So you're not filling your protein up when you eat this meat. Our big feedback was we had more outsiders come in trying to fight the bill.
Is that right? Well, I'm not surprised.
No, we actually had death threats and stuff, my wife and I, that came in on it, but it was all out of state. None of it was within state, the stuff that was coming in. Then when we done further research on it, and after they came down, let me go back. They came down from California and looked at it and tried to convince me not to carry it. In fact, they said they'd spend $1 million against me in any election I run if I went through with this bill, because they was going to come. They would shut me down. Then we got checking on it, and they had spent over $3 million in Washington, D.C. on trying to pull money out of the farm bill to fund this. And it's all rich investors out of Silicon Valley, you know, so they have the money. The product right now, they're making salmon, tuna, they're making about every kind of meat it is, or fish out of it. They actually brought me a sample of the salmon. I didn't eat it, but
no,
they did bring it.
Smart man.
I
Smart
thought they
man.
could take it back with them.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is we don't know what it's going to do. I think it's a great bill. The governor signed it a few weeks ago, in the law. But it keeps any byproducts or anything coming here on it. Anything that's made that way from the state of Alabama. Also, the governor said she would not put I'm trying to think of what you call it, but where it would play out in 5 years or nothing else. We put
term limit.
Because they came back and tried
Yeah.
to get me to term it out in 5 years where they could do research. And in fact, I had an interview last week, a magazine in Europe called, and said, well, we thought y'all had a deal worked out where the governor would do it. I said, no, I never had a deal worked out.
No.
Gave him my word, or anything on it. I told him I would think about it. And when I thought about it, I said no, because it was all my bill total. It was nobody else's stuff.
So basically, if you go over to another state, you could be a victim of having some of this meat brought into you.
Some of them. I came up with the bill. Florida copied the bill, and actually they were the first state. They passed it before I got it passed. And then we've had 17 other states call that's trying to copy the bill and get it into law. So I mean, it's been a lot bigger thing than I ever thought it would amount to. But I think it's just taking care of the public. We've had other meats out and stuff, but this I'm not against the beans burgers that's made out of vegetables and all that.
But
if
you
somebody's
know the
vegetarian,
ingredients. You know the ingredients.
You know what's in it.
Right.
But all chemicals and sales. I mean, and it's made in a lab. I mean, I think COVID was probably made in a lab. So, you know,
Amen.
how do we know what they
Amen.
can put in it, you know, at a certain time or something? And they did come back and try to get me just to restrict it from foreign countries making it and shipping it over here, you know, but I still don't want it. In Alabama, I don't think the general public wants meat made in a lab.
No,
You
no.
know.
And not with chemicals,
Yes, sir.
because we're learning chemicals are not that good for you.
Well, we see what the chemicals has done that's in chickens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what it's done to our little girls and all.
So when you proposed the bill, did you get, everybody said, we're in?
Oh, I had every sponsor in the Senate. I'm not sure about the House, but I think everybody signed off on it in the House of Representatives. We had no trouble getting it through at all. Like I said, our main fight was lobbyists coming up there, and they did hire lobbyists to come here to fight it. That fought us on it, and went around asking everybody and telling them, you know, this is good, you know, and it's not.
No, prove it. You have to prove it.
I just,
Amen.
like I say, if we did give NASA, we went back and redone the bill a little bit and give NASA where they could do research on it, but I would not give anybody else that research.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for that, because this is the thing. We send people to represent us, and they have to look out for our best interest. And of course, with your background, obviously you knew that something wasn't right there.
Yeah, I mean, my background as a farmer.
Yes.
I you know, I like real meat. And
You,
the
me
general
both,
public
brother.
likes real meat.
That's it. And just remember this: when they're in session, that's not the time to talk to your legislators. When they're out of session, call them. Give this guy a call and tell him a big thank you for making us a safer state. And we'll be right back right after this.